Okay, today I'm here to show you how to change the tension on the Shottec device. The Shottec device has a factory setting about 1.5 pounds resistance, and you can see that we have 6 settings, 1 to 6, 1 meaning very light, 6 meaning a lot stronger. But a lot of times the strong isn't strong enough for the bigger players or the advanced players. So what we like to do is change the resistance, and you can easily change the resistance by changing the feature in the mechanical side. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this orange button, I'm going to turn it back to the number 1 position. I got a 2mm Allen key, and basically all I do is take off the hexagon screw counterclockwise, and a lot of times it's a little snug, it's on a spline. I got a needle nose pliers in this case. I can kind of wiggle it back and forth and release the button. So once I release the button, I take the screw out so that I don't lose it. It's quite small. I leave it by the Allen key, and now I can make the setting. So basically all I do is there's an inner spline and an outer spline. I'm going to put the device or the orange button back onto the outer spline, and you can see that I just put it on so that it just catches the outer spline. You can see that there's a gap in it, but this gives me an opportunity to wind up the outer spline, and that's how you create more resistance. So the more resistance on the puck, all I do is I turn it clockwise and there's more resistance. If I want to go more, I just keep turning it up, and you still feel it. You can feel where you want the setting to start. So that's going to be reference to number 1. So I can turn this back and forth any type of setting that I want for the number 1 setting. In this case, I'm going to dial it down. I'm going to turn it about halfway down. You don't want to turn it off too much because it'll separate inside. So you want to turn maybe a half a turn, 3/4 of a turn, and you'll see that there's no resistance on the puck at all. So you want to just turn it back up so that you feel the resistance starting, and then you just kind of work it back and forth. You can feel it. In this case, it's a really small setting. It's I guess a beginner setting. So now all I do is I'm happy with the resistance that's on the puck. I take the orange button, I place it back on to the number 1 setting, and I push it in all the way so that it catches the second spline. Now I take my 2mm Allen key and my screw, I put it back in, I turn it clockwise, tighten it back up, and I got settings 1 to 6. You can feel that 6 is a little bit more. You turn it back to number 1. It's an elementary setting, and you're good to go.